I just had a memory from a long ago, which I'd forgotten about. I was just watching Lamont at Large, the graveyard tours. Um, Sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's not. But this one was about some sort of gang um, brawl where a guy was killed somewhere in Texas, I think. But get your motor running, head out on the highway. Mm, Speedway Motors, 1965. I just like that. It's obviously a Royal Enfield or a BSA or a Norton. It's obviously an English motorbike. I don't like motorbikes because a couple of my friends were killed on them while they were teenagers. I was nearly killed myself. Uh, yeah, so it's not. I don't like them. I don't like motorbikes. But this is what it's about, and I thought, holy mackerel, that's right, because 1984, which is what 40 years ago, Father's Day, which in Australia is, I think, a different date to the USA. I'm not. I think in Australia it's in September. I can't remember. My dad died a long, long time ago. I try not to think about Father's Day and Mother's Day. They're gone. Um, but it just brought it to mind. I thought, oh yeah, of course. Me and my North Shore yuppie friends, they sort of adopted me because they just thought they were hanging out with me. I was like the rough trade, you know. They couldn't believe I existed, I don't think. But I got along with them. They were born in the late 1950s. I was born in 1951, so I was sort of like, an older brother type. They were great kids. They were good kids. They were motor car nuts and motorbike nuts. And so we went out to the car show. I think it was in Liverpool, which is an outer suburb of Sydney. It's actually called the City of Liverpool. It's not Liverpool in England, obviously. And we went out there, and it was pretty good. We're looking around at, the cars and stuff. So they decided, when it was over, that we decided to head off. And I think there was four, four, four of us. Yeah, it would have been, including a female in a Volvo, which later the driver was in a collision, and I was in the passenger seat, and that Volvo saved my life. It literally, the door hit sideways, it smashed the door in right up against my knee, and I was pushed up against the driver. And that was later. So we're heading back, and on the way, we went through a suburb called Milperra, which is southwest Sydney suburbs, heading back up towards the North Shore. And I think one of them said, "Oh, gee, how about we stop?" Oh, that's right. On the way along this street, I kept seeing these bikie gang guys sitting on motorbikes in every few streets. I'd see one, and I'd go. And I said to Steve, the driver, I said, "Steve," I said, "there's all these bikies sitting on their motorbikes. We're talking, the heavies." Um, and I said, "That's weird." And as we were going along, we went past a place called the Viking Tavern, and there was a British Motorcycle Club was having a swap meet in the car park out the back. I think maybe because one of the guys, Jeremy, who was later murdered in Bangkok, that's another story. Um, uh, because there were motorbikes, maybe he wanted to stop and look at the motorbikes, or maybe they wanted to stop for a drink, you know. And I don't know, something told me there's something. I just felt, I said, no, keep going, don't. After seeing those bikies sitting up side streets, I thought there's something wrong here. Anyway, by the time before we'd even gotten back to the North Shore, which would be a good 40-minute drive, on the radio comes the news there's been a mass shooting at the Viking Tavern in Milperra. And we just went, whoa, shit. To cut a long story short, it was the Comancheros and the Bandidos. One group broke away from the other, and they were having turf wars or something. And it turned out that 7 bikies were shot dead. A poor innocent 14-year-old girl just there with her dad, I think, at the swap meet was killed, and 28 injured, as in, probably wounded and beaten and clubbed or whatever. We would have been in the thick of it. I just felt something was off, I've always had that instinct thing, that street smart survival instinct thing. I've had too many beatings in my life too, and you get this sort of sixth sense. You just go, this is off. I swear to God, we would have been there when it happened. We could have been shot, or I would have seen people being shot. So anyway, that's just to cut a long story short. So it just sparked the memory. I'd totally and utterly forgotten about it. So that's it for today. Anyway, take it easy, everybody. Bye now.